Cam. We got the YouTube cam going. Dude, I am so sorry. You know, you guys out there on, the P4, on C10 America Talks, our worldwide podcast. I totally forgot to hit the record button. Dude, I am so like not. I didn't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was like, you know, Miss Terry stayed home today. She wasn't feeling too good. And normally I get up at 4 o'clock because I want to be the first one, you know, in the shower, get all ready to go. And then I get in here by 5 o'clock. Well, forget that. That did not happen today. But hey, that's okay. I got like another half hour sleep, so I got in here. But I did my morning wake up call YouTube video, so we're good to go. But anyways, good morning and welcome. C10 America Talks, and then everybody down there in Snyder at the Ford dealership. You know the new guy down there, the parts guy, everybody down there, you guys are doing an awesome, phenomenal job, down there. And Scott, he's doing okay. No, no, Scott doing a great job too. Anyways, guys, matter of fact, I was talking to Scott like, a matter of mere moments before I went live. Anyway, anyways, see that tripod right back there? We are recording for TikTok also. So, dude, we're recording for C10 America Talks, the podcast. We're streaming to you guys live right here. Excuse me, right here in the group, and we're recording for YouTube. How cool is that? And then we have the tripod back here, and that's a recording for TikTok. So we're recording for 4 platforms at one time. How cool is that? That's awesome. Good morning, Scott. Scott says, good morning, my C10 brothers and sisters. Hey, what's up? Well, we're trying to get Scott out here for, the C10's in the Park show. And I told Scott, hey, we'll get you out here and then we'll go to the show and you pass out, the white buffalo flyers, and we'll get all them people tuned in to, coming to, your show. And then I was talking to Scott before, and I was trying to reach him all this morning. No luck. But he did call right before we went live, so that's all right. I made a new flyer for everybody out there that wants to be in, the C10 America Corral right down there at Scott's show on October 3rd. And, the little flyer that I made, I don't want to put it up without Scott seeing it first. That wouldn't be cool. So I want Scott to see it first, and then, I'll put it up. We only have limited spots available in the C10 America Corral. So if you want one, you need to, contact, me about the spot, and then you need to pay Scott for entering, that a truck, at his car show. So that makes sense. I'm not taking any monies, No monies are exchanging hands. All I'm doing is I'm taking the pretty much I'm reserving your spot for your C10 in my C10 America Corral, but you need to send, your entry fee over to Scott for the show, and we'll get all that set up. They're trying to set up a PayPal for the White Buffalo, so I'll get the link and all that, and then I can put that link up, and then if you guys want to sign up, or sign up, register for the show, then we can send all your info over to Scott, and then he can help you get all registered, all that. So, man, that was a lot to say in a short time. And anyways, I want to say a big shout out to Triple F Automotive. If you know Triple F Automotive, they're known to be a full service shop and showroom specializing in classic car restoration right over here in Fort Worth. They're right off Golden Triangle in Fort Worth. Zip code is 76177. That is 76177. Their phone number, if you want to give them a little, ringy dingy, 817-750-1040. You're looking at 817 area code 750 104 0. And that's my buddy, my friend, me, Dad's, friend. He was, there from almost day one with, the old Hot Rod magazine, the old Rod and Truck magazine. That was Doug Berry. So, a big shout out to Doug Berry. We love all the guys over at Triple F Automotive, and that is, so cool. They take, your truck in, your car in, and they can consign it. They can sell it right there for you in their showroom. Or, if you had that old car that, maybe needs restored, maybe that old C10 that needs restored, they do all that right, over there is on one side, one side they have, the showroom. So that is so cool. So go check out my buddy Doug Berry. He's located at 2760 Golden Triangle Boulevard, Fort Worth, Texas, 76177. That is 76177. Then real quick, hey, what's up? We are live on Facebook. If you're watching us on TikTok, come over to Facebook. We have 82,000 members. We love you. This will be up soon. Keep on watching, guys. Anyways, I had to, address, our TikTok followers. And dude, we are getting big, I tell you. And that's, all because of, you guys right here. You're telling your friend, they're telling their friend, it's like, so almost like a domino effect. It is, so cool. So if you can, go check out my buddy Doug Berry over at Triple F Automotive. You can go check him out online too. That is triple F automotive.com. Triple F automotive.com. Uh, I don't know if you guys, looked at, the numbers. I do because it's, something I do each and every day. I know, other folks might have 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job, and, maybe even own a group, but they have to do their 9 to 5 and all that. Well, my 4 in the morning till sometimes midnight is this group, this magazine, this podcast, the TikTok. So I'm doing everything, man. I'm like a man in a one-man band. It's all good. I'm not saying anything bad about it, and it's good. And by the way, guys, I need to address this right now. We have a little issue with the metal prints and the metal features. It's nothing bad. I just want to put it out there in the atmosphere and all that. But due to overwhelming orders on metal features and metal prints, uh, it has taken longer than usual, longer than normal on, some orders. So, a lot of you guys out there got metal prints, metal features, and, if you paid, you're in, the queue to definitely get worked on. If you're thinking about getting one, but you haven't, paid yet, you haven't sent payment yet, then until you do, you're gonna be put in the queue. But anyways, I thought I would have to, maybe I should address this. There's some folks out there taking a little longer than normal to get your metal prints, and it's only because of the overwhelming orders that have been coming in the last past couple days, the last past pardon me. Thank God for water, huh? Just due to the overwhelming orders, pardon me, that have been coming in last week, over the days, all that stuff. And it's great, awesome. And I am working like a dog to get them done. I have one more to get out there and get shipped. And then I am back designing. And I think we're on goal to hit, the fourth next month for issue number 9. And if not, we might have to push it out to, a couple more days and all that. But nonetheless, guys, I'm putting like 20 or 21 folks in issue 9. And it's going to be a badass magazine, issue. I know I probably sound like a broken record. I say it over and over again, but you know what? It's the God's honest truth. Every issue that we do is freaking awesome, and every issue we do, it kind of blows the other issue out of the water, and it's so cool to see all these orders and everybody that wants to get in the magazine. So we're 82,000 members right here in, the group. We're 82,000 members over on Facebook, YouTube. We want to grow YouTube to what we are over on, Facebook. Did you hear that, C10 American Talks? I'm talking to you guys out there. We're recording to halfway around the world. How cool is that? I can sit here in my studio and I can be reaching people in England, Saudi Arabia, Sweden, India, the Netherlands. I mean, dude, how cool was that? That is freaking awesome. A year ago, I was sitting right back there at that table over at the old studio, the old apartment, and the guy that I was talking to, I believe, he was in his shop over in the Netherlands, and he's in his shop on his cell phone. I'm right back here at this table with the headphones and the mic, and we're doing an interview, and it sounds as though he's sitting over on that side. How cool is that? Technology is it's good in some points and bad in some points. So give and take, I guess. But anyways, guys, I can't talk about it enough. October 3rd is my buddy Scott's show, the White Buffalo Car Show. If you have an awesome, C10 truck, I'm talking to you guys on YouTube. I'm talking to you guys on C10 America Talks. Pardon me. And I'm talking to you guys on TikTok. We have an awesome show coming up October 3rd. My buddy Scott is putting it on right down in Snyder, Texas. You need to go. If you guys have an awesome truck, or let me guess, you just bought, this awesome barn find or this awesome, farm, find, and you had to pull it off the reservation or pull it off the ranch because there was a tree growing up through the bed, but you love the truck, so you're gonna bring it back to how it was. You're not gonna give it a show stopping paint job. You're gonna keep the patina on it, and you're gonna build everything brand new underneath it, new chassis, brakes, suspension, everything brand new. But you're gonna take and you're gonna drop that cab and that bed over the top. Then you're gonna use my buddy's stuff, patina sauce from Sweet patina. Where is he? Right here. You're gonna use patina sauce by Sweet Patina. Blake and his dad, Terry Evans, they are awesome guys. They'll take and they'll give you the shirt right off their back. If you need it. I mean, they're so humble, so down to earth, so cool. Remember I told you a year ago, I had an older gentleman ask me to, autograph his hat. That was Blake's dad, Terry. When I was getting ready to leave and walk away, his dad came up to me and he said, "Hey, you know what? Here's some of my hat." And I'm like, "Dude, what do you want me to sign your hat? I'm nobody. I'm just somebody out here having a good time enjoying what I do, you know? And he's, you know what? Be quiet, some my hat. He's, I only let famous people some my hat. And I'm like, okay, good. Then I should not be signing your hat because, you know, I'm not. And he's just hush up and sign it, please. So I had to sign it under, you know, the bill. So it is what it is. And this year, hopefully, me and Scott are going to go to C10s in the park. If not, I'm still going. I need to go out there at uh, be there at 5 o'clock in the morning because you know the gates don't open up until 7, and there's guys out there about 5 o'clock in the morning in line. So I want to get there with you know the microphone and you know the recording device so I can interview you know guys and gals you know out there you know at the show. How cool is that? That's awesome. And it's my little Wolfman Jack impression. I know it sounds nothing like him, so don't quit your day job. You know, keep on doing what you're doing. We can do it. Anyways, if I can, you know, I want to talk about you know the white buffalo. Uh, we gotta say thank you, thank you, thank you to Scott for he said he's gonna take and get us a whole block for you know C10 America Corral. Now I don't know how he's gonna do that, but you know I believe I have hope in you know the guy, and so I'm looking at getting 4 banners made. On the banners, it'll say "Welcome to the C10 America Corral," and then it'll say down below "Sponsored by you know so and so." So we'll even have you know the logo of you know the white buffalo car show on there because we are at a white buffalo event and they were so gracious to give us you know a spot. And you know really sometimes that's how other events you know start. They start with a little idea, a little spark, you know, and they take off and they ignite just right there. So and plus it's you know a show of how many folks from you know the group we can get down to Scott's show. And we want to make it well. Me and Roller, we're gonna do everything we can to make this show, the White Buffalo Show, the #1 show in Snyder, Texas. The #1 show that everybody wants to come out to, you know, from all surrounding cities around Snyder to, you know, come out, you know, and maybe even I'll look for other, you know, groups, see if I can go in there and talk about, you know, Scott's, you know, show and all that. But I think between our YouTube, our podcast, our live here, and our, you know, TikTok right back there, I think we have a good start at, you know, kind of growing something, you know, kind of big and, um, you know, memoryful, you know. Is that even a word? Or did I just, you know, just make it for, you know, the awesome, you know, memories and, you know, all that. Anyways, guys, if you can give me feedback, how do you like those new thumbnails I'm doing? I'm doing some, you know, here in the group. I'm definitely doing some over in YouTube. You know, a friend of mine said, Yeah, do those YouTube thumbnails. You get more people click on them. Well, I don't know if that's the case, but I can tell you I did a YouTube thumbnail and I put it up here in the group a couple weeks back, and it got 96.4 thousand people. Now, if you think about it, right now we only have 82,000 people. So if you do the math, that don't really add up. We don't have 96.4 thousand people, but we are a dad just came in the group. But we do have 82,000 awesome members in the group. And starting the group, we're thinking about, well, do we want to make it private or do we want to make it public? If we make it private, nobody and their brother knows about the group. But if we make it public, then other people that aren't members can see what goes on in the group, and they can choose to become members and all that. And then a couple weeks after that, I put up another post, and this post got 114,000 views with 400 subscriptions. Now, the other one was a little lower on views, but that one got 635 submissions to be in the magazine. We only had 20 spots. So you go figure. I mean, I think our magazine is getting to the stage where a lot of people out there are hearing about our magazine, and they want to get in it. And I think the whole reason the metal prints, metal features, show boards, and all that are taking off is because we are in the online, we are a digital magazine. And nothing wrong with all those paperback magazines and all that, but I think me, Dad, we're like more comfortable and more okay with an online digital magazine than if it had been print. And we can do a lot more stuff with it being digital than we could if it's paper. You know what I mean there. Anyways, pardon me. These big numbers we've been getting, they're all generic. They're all organic. We did not pay for any of the views. We just put them up, and we let you guys see them, view them. And the other day I put a thumbnail up, and I got 24.5 thousand views. That is crazy. And the algorithm is just boom, going bonkers. I think it likes our content that we're putting up every day. If you think about it, I've been doing content for 3 years right here in the group, because C10 America is 3 years old. We started back on December 9th, 2022. We're sitting over at Dad's, on the back patio, and we just started, the group. I started the group on, the cell phone, and that was, so cool that I'm all, well, I love C10 trucks, and I love, where I live. I love, the USA, America, all that. So C10 America was born. And I think, plus, a lot of people are very, very, you know, not only patriotic, but they also have that, you know, that one thing that we all share right here in the group, which is, passion. We all have, that passion and that love for, C10 trucks. And, it just is, all I gotta say is wow, wow. You guys continue to amaze me. I never thought in my wildest dreams we would be set to hit 100,000 members in the group. That is, so, so cool. We're at 31 after, the hour. The White Buffalo Show rolls into town, rolls into Snyder October 3rd. We'll be down there with the C10 America Corral. I have 4 banners, so I need 4 sponsors to go on, the banners. They'll be put up in my corral right down there. And then I need to know from you guys who wants to be in, the C10 America Corral. I haven't put that new flyer up yet. I need to show it to Scott first. But give me an idea, comment right down below. Maybe I'm thinking about it. But I think once I put that flyer up, we're going to have, a lot of, people that want to come out and show off, their trucks, or, show off, their builds and, all that stuff. Let's see here. Giving us a whole block down there. I still don't know how he's going to do that. I was going to pull that off. If you want, head over to, the website. Get, signed up for, this awesome, awesome magazine. It's online. We'll take it and we'll email it to you, or at the time it comes out, you can download it over on, the site. This, I think, is issue number 7, because we have 8 out and we're working on, getting 9 all done. So if you're a member, all you need to do is type member 5, member 5. If you're not a member, but you do want to sign up, head over to www.c10americamagazine.com. You guys sign up for only $10, $10. It's still an awesome smoking, deal. Anyways, guys, my buddy Bobby C is putting on his first annual car show right there in Kokomo, Indiana. It's sponsored by, the Knights of Columbus. It'll be April 11th, 2026. It's called Breakfast Car Cruising and Show. It'll be held at the Columbian Club of Kokomo, 1631 Foxfire Drive, Kokomo, Indiana. That's 1631 Foxfire Drive, Kokomo, Indiana. And then they do have a $20 entry fee, but you get a breakfast included in that. If you need more info, you can give my buddy Bobby C a call at area code 765-271-5034. The number again, 765, the area code 271 5034. Registration opens at 8 o'clock a.m., followed by breakfast at 9, which goes until 10:30. So you got some time to, you know, eat right there. Eat your bacon, your sausage, all that. I'm a meat man. I love bacon. I love sausage. I'll eat hash browns. Maybe not so much eggs, but it's all good. They're open to cars, trucks, motorcycles, golf carts, and yep, you got it, UTVs. Come rain or shine, cash prizes for winners, and like I said, if you need more info, give Bobby C a call, 765 area code 271 5034. That is the Breakfast Car Cruising and Show right up there in Kokomo, Indiana. Anyways, guys, I need to give a big shout out to, my sponsors. I did a little bit yesterday. I couldn't find the paper. Excuse me, my fault, because my office is kind of messy. But, it gets that way when, I work. When I'm working here, pardon me. Anyways, I want to give a big shout out to, our biggest sponsor right now is Boss Hog Tour Converters. They're located at 2817 East Avalon Avenue, Muscle Shoals, Alabama. That is 35661 35661. And that phone number, if you want to give them a little ringy ding, it's 888 267 7464. 888 267 7464. And then we head on down to yesterday's 50s Diner, 305 West US Highway 380, Bridgeport, Texas, 76426. 76426. Their phone number, area code 940 683 6620. 940 683 6620. And then we have a Loaded Dice Speed Shop. They're located at 6831 Ash 8th Street, Frisco, Texas, 75034. That is 75034. If you want to give them a little call down there, they'd love to hear you. Aaron and his wife not only own the shop, but they run it day to day. I mean, all the guys and gals that work for, Aaron and the wife, they're freaking awesome. They know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And they have an awesome shop, dude. It's like, a grown man's candy shop. It's like you want, I'll take that. I mean, if you walk in the back, roll-up door, there might be, that 70 C10 over there getting airbags installed. Or you might walk, up by the front door from the back to the front office. You might see that awesome 57 Chevy, in final assembly, getting, the final wipe down on it. So that is awesome. These guys, they're, if you meet them, they're awesome at their shop, and they're going to be awesome out there at the show. So they're like, in my book, they're, top notch. And Aaron, dude, he's cool people. Man, he is cool people. Give him a call, 214-705-6442. If you want, you can email him also, garage at loadeddicespeedshop.com. That is garage at loadeddice, speedshop, .com. And then I want to say a big shout out. Where is, that one card right back here? I think I found it here through my mess. Anyways, I want to say a big shout out to my buddy Jay Pruitt from over there at Trucks USA. His website is classictruckbedparts.com. Classictruckbedparts.com. Guys, show our vendors, our sponsors, advertisers some love. They show us love, so, help us support, them. Go check out their website. They have an awesome site, classictruckbedparts.com. They're located at 2924 Highway 72 East. That is Ableville, South Carolina, 29620. 29620. Area code classictruckbedparts.com. If you want to give my buddy Jay a call at the shop number, let me get that. Shop number is 864-227-6220. That shop number again, 864-227-6220. Or if you want to give Jay an email, that would be Jay at classictruckbedparts.com. Jay at classictruckbedparts.com. Then I have a new company I want to talk about real quick. That is Square Bodies of, Texas right here. These guys are awesome. I've seen their website, some of their builds, all that. That is pretty cool. They're working on their swag store so they can sell shirts and hats and all that. It's good. Why I like, these guys here, two things. They do square bodies, number one. Number two, they started, about the same time we did for, C10 America. How cool is that? I want to get these guys on the podcast, and maybe I'll do a Saturday or Sunday night live, something like that, and get them to, call in, the show so all you guys can, hear them, So, anyway, Square Bodies of Texas, they're located at 3200 Brett Road, Longview, Texas, 75604. 75604. They're over on IG, on Instagram. All together, no spaces. It's Square Bodies of Texas. All together. Let's see. Phone number is area code 903 387-6797, 903, I'm sorry, 903 387 6797. And then if you want, you can email them too. I would email or call them before you go out and, head over to, their shop and all that. Uh, you can email that at honchofabo5 at gmail.com. That's honchofabo5 at gmail, .com. So go either, call them or email them, set up, a time you can go out there and maybe, I don't know, if you have a project, you need help on something, help on a square body, they can probably, help you out, on that. So I want to give a big shout out to my buddy, partner in chief, worldwide, Johnny Blender, world famous, I should say, Johnny Blender. Johnny, what Johnny do? I'll tell you. Johnny owns an online radio station. Something Roller and myself wanted to do, but we have like a podcast, so that's almost like, that's good enough, But Johnny has, a little station, a little more than what Roller and myself have. It's called the Edge Radio US.com. The Edge Radio US.com. If you go wherever you guys get, apps for, the phone, either, the Android or, the Apple, you can probably get an app for his station, put it on your phone. I don't care if you're on a rocket ship to Mars, you're going to Jupiter, wherever you're going to see, that the man on the moon, wherever, they probably pick up right there. And by the way, if you go up there, if you're up there, check us out too. C10 America Talks. We have a worldwide podcast. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple iTunes, we're on Google Podcasts, pretty much wherever you guys get your podcast. We're probably, I bet you a nickel to a donut that, that saying's from my dad. My dad says that to this day. I bet a nickel to a donut that they still, I lost my train of, thought right there. Boom. I hate that. When I get, 53, I think it's, the old noggin up here, the mouse isn't running as fast as, it did, before. But hey, that's okay. It'll come back to me later on. Anyways, I want to say a big shout out to my buddy, friend. I met her right here in the group. And she got one of those awesome metal prints. I think she was in issue number 5 or, something like that. Her name is Wendy McLeod. Wendy McLeod is pretty awesome. Wendy, along with her husband, they put together this little thing called the Rusty Rods and Rust, car show. They wanted us to go last year, but we had a little thing, a wedding and, a move going on, so we couldn't really make it. I'm like, you know what? I want to go, but I can't. I'll make it, next year. How about next year? So we're going, this year. They're out of Newitt, Texas, right down by, Waco, right, down there. So that right there is your sponsors for, the day that should keep, the lights on for, another day. I'm thinking here. We are at 9:50. I'm gonna try and do this until 10, but if I can't, we're going until 10:05. We took and we put together, some awesome, stickers, about the time we're starting, the group here. And, you know, I had talked to, the wife and talked to dad, about the time ever I got done designing these. And both, my dad and my wife both said, you should take and maybe think about putting them together, put them in a pack, and then put them over on, the website, which is www.c10americamagazine.com. That's www.c10americamagazine.com. And so I said, you know what? That's a great idea. I'll do that and, stuff like that. But I'm going to take, and I have some old Rod and Truck magazine decals. When these are gone, they are gone. I'm not selling these anymore. I'm giving them away with the sticker pack. And then I'm going to take and give you guys another C10 America Stars decal for free. So I'm throwing this in here. I'm taking this. I'm throwing this in here. So you get this awesome sticker pack coming right to you. And all you need to do is go get yourself one over at the website www.c10americamagazine.com. It went from a 4-pack to a 5-pack to a 6-pack. No, not the type you all drink. It's not 5 o'clock yet, but it is 5 o'clock somewhere. I think I'll get that later. I think it's 5 o'clock, somewhere. Anyways, guys, we did bring, the Hot Wheels giveaway back over on, the website www.c10americamagazine.com. All you need to do, go over there, search for, that secret word. I know what you're thinking. How did we know it's a secret word? Well, I'll tell you how you know. You go over there, it says secret word ... boom, right there. You go over there, you find it, you think you found it, you text me, you message me. Don't share it with nobody in the group, because if you do, you won't win. Contact me directly. Let me know what you think it might be, what it is, what it isn't. I'll let you know yes or no. Yes, you get a Hot Wheel. No, you got to try again, the next week. And we take that word off no matter if you win or you don't win. We take it off. We put a new word up for, the new week. So it is, a brand new word every week, no matter, what. Excuse me. Anyways, give you a couple of save the dates on the truck show rundown. Of course, I've been talking, about them all the time. I am really, really trying to plug, the show, because we're going to be down there and we want some awesome, trucks from, the group down there. What I'm talking about the White Buffalo Wheels car show right down there in Snyder. It'll be held October 3rd. This year, we're having C10 America Corral. You guys need to hit me up if you want to be in, the corral. And then I'll take, forward all your info onto, the promoter, Scott. And then he'll get you all registered and ready to go. And then we'll get you parking in, the corral, at the show. The Rat Pack Car Show is coming back to Gale, Texas, this year. Yep, it was so much fun last year. I'm glad that me and the wife got to, go out there. I have my booth up. That'll be probably the first show that I have, the booth up at. So that'll be awesome. And then that'll be May 16th. And then we have, the C10 Nationals right up here at the Speedway in Fort Worth. That'll be May 8th and May 9th, right up there. Let's see, done with, this one here. This one, you go down there. Right up here, May 8th, May 9th at, the Speedway. Out there in California, the C10 Slowdown is rolling into, your town on July 25th. So if you're out there in California, you're around, make sure you go to, the C10 Slowdown and represent, C10 America out there and let everybody know, about C10 America. We are nationwide, baby. And then there is, put on by my buddy Terry Hill, C10's in the park out there in Waxahachie. I can't even pronounce, the name of that park. I won't even try. I'll look like, a fool, guys. It's a park that begins with, the letter G out there in Waxahachie. You know what I'm talking about? If you ever been to C10's in the park, it's right out there in, I think, the one year I went, they had like something like 1,500, C10s. That's awesome. But then you go out to Arizona, you have Dino's Get Down out there, and you're talking about 5,000, C10s out there. That is pretty wicked, out there. But you know what? The, C10 community is, huge. We love, C10 trucks. And I think we put on the best, truck shows, out there because we offer people something to drink, something to eat, somewhere to sit down, somewhere to get shade, on a hot day at the event. And it's more like a family reunion than a truck show. Everybody is, you know what? At every truck show I've been to, I see everybody smiling out there at the show, having fun, and that is, awesome, awesome. So, do what you love and love what you do. That should be a T-shirt. C10 America. Do what you love and love what you do. Anyways, I need to say a big shout out to, my wife and, my dad for helping me get, more order forms, made. I ran out these, when you guys order a metal print, I'm old school. I like, stuff written down too, files, all that. I make an order form every time you guys order a metal print. I was getting down on these, and my printer went out. So I took and I emailed it to Dad, emailed it to the wife at work, and then they were able to print some out. And Dad brought some over, a couple of nights ago, and then Terry brought some home from work yesterday. So that is, so awesome. We're at 10 o'clock, and we're done in 5 minutes. I think we can. Pardon me. Anyways, I want to say a big shout out to Speed Tech Performance, Speed Tech, Keith and JR. We love you guys. You guys are the ones that opened the door for, me and Dad back in 2018 for busted knuckle rod and, truck. That was awesome. They're located at 5950 Airport Freeway, suite number 400, Houghton City, Texas, 76177, Highway 121 and Carson Avenue. You can call them today or come by today. Their phone number is 682 area code 647-0012, and that is Speed Tech Performance right down there in Houghton City. And big shout out to them. They're the ones that opened the door when nobody else wanted to advertise in the old Rod and Truck magazine. They stood up. Might have took 4 times, but you know what? At the end of the day, they did it, and that's awesome. And then before I talk about the last thing, I want to say a big shout out to the elephant in the room here. Yes, I'm writing a book. It'll be 150 pages, 15 chapters. 10 pages per chapter. If you add all that up, that comes out to 150 pages. So, anyways, this is not, the book. It's my wife's book. You can see, but I'm playing around with, the cover. I used AI to create the cover. I use AI like a tool that graphic, designers out there, they use Photoshop, Illustrator. Well, I don't use Adobe products anymore. I use Affinity and, some AI. But remember, back in the day in Las Vegas, almost every sign was a marquee with the little light bulbs inside the lettering. Like Bailey's or Bally's, casino downtown in the old part of Vegas. Well, I wanted that, theme, that, look. So I said, the name of the book is, The Grind. It is the spark, the fear, the doubt, and, the challenge. And be sure you put my name on it. So put TexasRich. Then is it what's it about? I said the story behind C10 America. So I said, give me a fuse like it was lit, like a spark, and it did just that right there. So we took and we hooked up with a publishing company already, and they told us when I am ready and done with the book, send it over to them. It'll be like a little fee to start the book, but then it'll be an on-demand site, so people can go buy 1 or 2 or 3 copies. And then since I'm the author, I'll probably buy, 100 copies and have over on the website, which is www.c10americamagazine.com. And my copies will be autographed. You get a sticker in my copy, and I will write you a handwritten personal note in the book, and we'll ship that out to you. Then the third way is it'll be a download version. So if you want to download it to, the smartphone, the tablet, the laptop, wherever you are, maybe in an airport waiting for a plane to go somewhere on vacation or something, you can view it in paperback or, on your smart, device and all that, cool stuff. We are 10:06. I'm going to go until 10:10 now. Anyways, big shout out to my buddy Tom Abel. Thanks for printing out issue number 1 for us. Issue number 2 right here. And I need to say, we're not a print magazine. We're an online downloadable magazine. But me, Dad, I think we like it better. It's more interaction there. And it's pretty much based off, the members in, the group and all that. We can do things easier that you couldn't do if you were, paperback and, all that. And Tom, how we did that, he got the email that you guys get, but he printed his out. He cut it, he put it together, and then, he made a copy for him, made a copy for us, and that is, freaking, awesome and, amazing. Let's see. I'm going to take and read from the 1 Minute Prayers for Men Guide. We got this from my buddy Roller. I like to trying to read two scriptures or 2 prayers, a day. One now, one before I go to bed at, night. It just kind of, calms me, puts me, in a calm state of mind before I go to bed, and stuff like that. But we're on page 285. In case you have one, you want to follow along. It's on 285. We're under desires. And it says, a good heritage. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. Proverbs 11:23. Pretty much, I guess what that's saying to me is pretty much everybody that believes in, the righteous and believes, in God and Jesus and has, good thoughts and, pretty much good thoughts, let's just say, pretty much ends in only, good. Sometimes even though there's, those out there that probably do believe, do go to church, all that, they're trying to do everything good and all that. I get it. Sometimes we have speed bumps. Sometimes, some bad things happen that we didn't think were going to happen. But, it's all the matter of how we take care of them. It's all the matter of, how we address, those, things when they come up. And then it says, but the hope of the wicked only in a wrath. And I believe, those out there not doing God's, not, not, I guess doing, if you want to say God's word, or maybe, those out there, those, bad actors out there, and maybe that, don't believe that, want to continue doing, some of the stuff you shouldn't be doing. They're going to be met with, the wrath, and, they're going to have to deal with that, sometime, or, another. But that's only, my opinion. You can take it for what it is, whatever, it made you, feel, all that stuff. All I can do is tell you kind of what, it made me, think about after I read that. Anyways, I'm going to take and get out of here. It's 1 minute after 10:10, so it's 10:11. We love you guys. Have a great day. Hey, Sam's in here, Dad's in here, Kevin's in here, Scott's in here. Yep, Kevin. www. Pardon me. www.c10americamagazine.com. You got it right, baby. So, anyways, today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. It'll be Throwback Thursday tomorrow in the group. We love you guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Make somebody's day, that more happy, that more cheerful. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
I started with a frame,
Awesome.
just a pile of steel, rust on my hands, but a vision that's real. Long nights in the shop, sparks lighting the air. Every bolt I tighten says I'm halfway there, knowing that my vision is starting to appear, in hopes that I make the cover of C10 America magazine. I'm building my C10 dream. The chrome shines under the lights. Do I lay it low or lift it high? Man, my C10 dream feels so right. From the garage to the show, rolling proud and clean, in hopes that one day I'll make the cover of C10 America magazine. A fresh coat of paint, that green candy apple glow, 20-inch wheels hitting every truck show. Crowd gathers round, cameras start to click. This ain't just a truck, it's my C10 America magazine dream. I'm building my C10 dream. The chrome shining under the lights. Do I lay it low or lift it high? Man, my C10 dream feels so right. From the garage to the show, rolling proud and clean, in hopes that one day I'll make the cover of C10 America magazine. From swamp meets to highways, every mile I roll, this C10 Chevy tells my story, every dent, every goal. I hope and I pray the editors are watching one day and put me on the cover of C10 America magazine. And they will realize this truck's more than metal to me. It's my C10 dream. I'm building my C10 dream. The chrome shines under the lights. America magazine. But until that day, my truck's gonna gleam. I will keep wrenching and chasing my C10 America magazine dream.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a very blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.